Hello everybody, my name is Lilli. I'm the creative director here at Bubblegum Cartoons, and today we have another Let's Animate video. Today I'm going to be coloring a scene from the pilot episode of Demonic Crepes where Squidzilla is attacking Sophie and Pancake. There's a lot of characters in this scene, it's really fun, lots of bright colors. We will also be animating a shadow underneath all the characters frame by frame. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, let's animate. Okay, now that I have just about everything animated and everything has been cleaned up, all the line work and everything, now I'm going to go into coloring this piece. So first things first, as you can see, I'm drawing in Pancake's stripes. And yes, I do draw in every single stripe individually per frame. Sometimes I copy and paste if his head shape is simple enough. And it's kind of tedious, and you might be like, Lilli, why did you do that? Why did you make Pancake have stripes? And sometimes I ask myself that too, but I feel like it really defines him and it like makes him stand out more from other animated cats. So, I mean, it looks cute. So here I'm just going frame by frame. I am drawing in his dark gray stripes. So I tend to do skin tones first because they're like kind of the most tedious or boring. So what I'm doing here is I actually have 2 layers of Pancake. So what I'll do is I'll animate him on a separate layer from Sophie. Sometimes he's on the same one. So I animate him on a different layer. That way I copy it and paste it and put it below. So I can draw in the stripes and I can be a little messier with it. That way if it like a gray stripe goes over his outline, there's another outline on top of him that'll clean that up a little bit. So I can be a little more free with where I put the lines. Another reason why I designed him with stripes like this was to give his face more dimension, and it shows a little better if he's looking up, he's looking down, if he, you know, the shape of his head. So that's also why I designed him with these very, very tedious stripes. So there he is, he's jumping, it's a really funny frame. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep going here, I'm gonna keep putting in more stripes, and I'm also doing this thing with the ear, so his ears are also actually those dark gray colors, so I'll be coming in later and filling those in. As you can see here, now I'm going back in with the gray and I'm filling in his little ears. I'll also next be going in with his pink of his ears, which is every frame. Sometimes his little ears are pointing away or they're pointing down, so I don't always fill in the pink of his ears, but for the most part his pink ears are showing. So here I am basically just coloring by numbers, as you can probably tell. This is Toon Boom. If I didn't mention that already, I animate in Toon Boom and I also color in Toon Boom. One of the reasons why I really love this program is because coloring is so easy. You guys can tell I just go frame by frame, paint by numbers. You just gotta know which specific colors go where. And if there's like a break in your line work, the program is smart enough to know what you're talking about, so you can still fill in that space with that color. So if you guys can see on the side there, I have like 4 or 5 different color palettes. Every character has their own color palette, and I can make this on one animation file and then I can import it into my new ones. So Pancake will always have consistently the same colors. I can name the colors, so I can say like this one's specifically for his stripes, this one's for his fur. That way I don't get confused and have to look back at references like, oh, what's color number 12? What does that mean? So it's really, really nice to have that consistency when you work. So Sophie has her own palette, and I'll label her certain outfits, like her Demonic Crepes outfit, like her little, her uniform has different colors than her daily outfits, but her hair color and her skin color are always the same. So here I am just coloring in Pancake's eyeballs. There he is, kind of demonic, creepy looking eyes, but they don't look that weird on a cat, I guess, which is sort of the joke. So after the eyes, I'm going to be doing his sweater, his adorable little purple sweater. So I just go paint by numbers. This one's relatively easy, except for the little ribs in his turtleneck are kind of obnoxious sometimes. You have to keep coloring those in very individually. But I think the color is really, really cute. I picked it out because if you didn't watch my other video where we're doing a Let's Anime, I chose that color because of, it's supposed to be the same color as Kiki's dress from Kiki's Delivery Service. It's kind of a grayish, dark purple, and I just thought that was really cute. It's like super, super subtle reference. But yeah, if you didn't watch it already, of course, go watch my Let's Animate. It's a different scene, but it's a scene, I believe, right before this one, or a couple scenes before this. Alright, now we're getting into coloring Sophie, and Sophie's really fun. She's got a lot of little nooks and crannies, and you might be like, Lily, why did you animate such a complicated little uniform with lots of frills and lace? Because it's fun, that's why. It's cute, it's how I want it to look. It is kind of tedious to color all the little laces and stuff, but she's adorable, so of course I'm going in with her skin color first. I do slight cleanups. You're not going to catch every single line cleanup every single time, so sometimes when you go back to color, you can fix it. It's a super quick fix. You just use the cutter tool and you swipe at it. That's one of those frames that looks like she has multiple arms. So yep, just some more cleanup, like her nose. Oops, delete her eyeball. That's okay. It's a really quick fix. This is all, you know, fix it and post kind of stuff. So if you can see here, Sophie has her own layer that's kind of with Pancake towards the beginning, but once she interacts with the tentacle layer, then she actually switches to that layer, which seems seamless. It seems seamless when you watch it, but so she switches as soon as they make contact, because it makes it easier to like show that contact, and it makes it easier to like, you know, just draw those little lines there. So yes, she actually does switch layers when she does get grabbed, and that's just like a choice of mine. You don't have to do that in your animation, but for me it makes it easier to keep things organized and keeps the things together. And now we are moving into her uniform coloring. This is really fun. My favorite part is either coloring hair or clothing. also animating hair and clothing. Alright, now I'm going in and I'm doing lace. Sometimes I'll switch in between, I'll just do some red here and there. So we're doing the white parts of her costume, which are her apron, the lace underneath, her little bow tie in the back, and the ruffles on her sleeve. The red parts will be her main part of her dress, and then there's her hair tie that is also red. And then her shoes are like a slightly lighter black color. So now I'm going in and I'm filling in her eyes. Sometimes when I animate, I already do her eyes filled in. Sometimes I'm a little bit lazy and I leave it to the very end, which is fine. I really like this stage because it brings life into her character. You can finally see, like, you know, what she's looking at. It's not just like her empty little eye sockets. Just, you know, coloring her shoes there. Now I'm coloring her hair. Hair is really fun because there's a lot of movement, which is why I designed her hair like that with the curls, because I love how they bounce and everything like that. So it's really fun that once you color it, you can kind of see how it moves. See? Boing! Cute little ponytail. also color in her little aerial bangs, and if she's facing the her right hand side, you can see there's that little inside of her hair, and that is a darker color, but otherwise her hair is all one light blonde, buttery kind of color. So now you can see I'm coloring her teeth. That's the first part. I like to color in the teeth first when I'm doing the mouth or the lip sync. Sometimes the lip sync will be on another layer. This is because sometimes a character can be static, but their mouth keeps moving. So instead of having to color her frame by frame with the mouth on her, I'll make her still without a mouth on one layer, and then above that layer, I will just do a layer that's only her mouth moving. So I like this part when you get to color in the mouth because you can see if your lip sync was successful. It's just really, you have to like play it by ear. Some people ask me, how do you do lip sync? And I just play the audio and I put the mouth over it, and you just kind of draw what you feel the word looks like. The important ones are like the O's, the L's, and the Ahs. Those really, really stick out. With Pancake especially, I like to kind of move his mouth around a lot, around his face, I mean. But yeah, so when you color in her mouth, you can see if what she's saying looks right, which I don't believe there's any dialogue in this scene quite yet. I'm probably going to add a part on before. Woohoo! This is the fun part, coloring in the rubble. So the rubble is the wall color that's slightly darker so it doesn't totally blend into the background. With this kind of sandy color, it's supposed to look like drywall or stone or whatever. This is just, you know, the Squidzilla just wreaking havoc and making the ceiling crash in. And we're also kind of are shown right here with the brick cracking on Pancake's head. It's just kind of like a little tiny indicator of like how strong he is and like how unusual he is, because, you know, most cats could not take that giant brick. Most people couldn't take that giant brick to the head. So it kind of shows you that he's like, you know, there's something up with him, that he can just kind of take this brick, and he looks at it and he doesn't even move because he knows that he can physically take that giant brick to his head. Alright, now you can see I am coloring in Squidzilla's tentacles. This is the really easy part. It's really just one big blobby shape, and it's only one color. I have the lighter of the two colors for the Squidzilla. It looks just kind of like snake green color, and these are super simple shapes. So this is the easy part. finally, now I'm going in with the shadows. So the shadows will be animated frame by frame, and what I do is it's just a black layer. It's separate, it's underneath all the characters, and what I do is I go to opacity and I make it at like 25% opacity, and that makes it look like it's not a solid shape, it's just a shadow. So I go in every single frame, and sometimes I can copy and paste it if they stay in the same space, but once Sophie moves, of course her shadow has to move. I don't technically use shadows in every single scene, but I feel like it makes it a little more believable. It's a little detail that not a lot of people notice, but it really makes you feel like these aren't layers of characters on other flat layers. It makes it feel like they really exist in that space, and it kind of adds that little extra panache to the scene that I really enjoy. And with that, we are all done with our coloring. Let's take a look. I want to thank you so much for watching our coloring tutorial here. If you have any questions about how I color my animation, please leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. We post videos every Saturday morning for our segment, Saturday Morning Cartoons. We hope to see you there.